Hey, welcome. Six. I am Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Welcome back. Welcome into the new year. The new year. Let's talk about it. It's the new year, y'all. Here on the ONYXCON Network, we take newness very, very seriously because we are a multi-niche content entity. So we're all about giving you something new, something you didn't know, edutainment for the masses, education and entertainment. We are a 501c3 nonprofit arts and creative lifestyle organization. Okay? Keep that in mind for the rest of the year. I'll be reminding you, don't worry, but if you're new to us, stay true to us. Make sure you hit that like button right now if I made you smile. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can smile again throughout the day and even tomorrow and days to come. 365, 24/7. This is ONYXCON. Welcome to the new year. Heck yeah. We are here, y'all. We made it. 2026, y'all. Can you believe it? You know, some of these years when I hear these numbers, I mean, you know what I'm saying? 26, you're 4 years shy of 2030. I ain't trying to jump the gun. I ain't trying to rush the clock. I'm saying, just think about that. That's all I'm saying. Just think about that. The logic and the psychology of being alive in a time of so much technology and so much possibility and so much growth and so much building, yet at the same time, so much deficit, dysfunction, and disorder. But we're going to get that right because if you know anything like I know, have you been paying attention? Have you been paying attention? Not to just the bad news you get all the time, because, you know, you get enough of that that you just think that's all there is. No. Have y'all seen the good news? Have y'all seen the phenomenal news? Have y'all seen the bizarre mix of juxtaposed energy? In Atlanta, Georgia, of where I am. I'm in the metro ATL area where right now we got about 60 degrees, feels more like 55 to 50 because of the breeze, which is perfect. It's really nice. It's really quite nice. Only reason I'm wearing this jacket is for the breeze. When the breeze blow, you feel it. Other than that, I got the windows cracked because I just want to feel air. It feels really good out here, like really good. Like the sun is, I love sunny days, so sun is on us, all of that. But in Atlanta, Georgia, in the last few days of the year, and I'm not sure if they're still here, we got an very honorable visit from some Tibetan monks. I don't know what temple they're from. I gotta look into that. I haven't researched exactly where their particular temple, their particular discipline, etc. But some monks, straight from Asia, wearing all of what people have known them to wear when they see these folks that have on the traditional orange most of the time, sometimes a little brown in there too, wraps and everything. These brothers and sisters came all the way from Asia to where? Of all places, think about it, of all places they could have gone. Now, I'm not saying they're not on a tour. They're probably gonna leave here and go other places in the US and all over the world. But they did a peace walk, and they're known for promoting peace, progressive energy, okay? Function over dysfunction. You feel me? They came here first. At least first time I heard about them in the news. I put it like that, because if they went somewhere else first last year, toward the end of the year, I didn't hear about it. I did hear about this. I mean, naturally I would, because I'm in Atlanta, so of course that's gonna make local news. But it wasn't through local news that I heard it. It was international news. It was what we call social media. I was on Instagram, and I said, whoa, what is this? And at first I wasn't even sure where they were, because the view was like a drone shot over one of the major highways in a neighborhood. It wasn't in the city. They were in a neighborhood, off of one of the main highways, like an area like, I'm not saying that's where it was, but I think it was like the equivalent of like a Bruford Highway, or maybe they were in Cobb Parkway or something like that. They were on one of the big parkways, major highway. And they did this peace walk. Some Tibetan monks have come to Atlanta, y'all. And everybody was, lining up. I mean, they had security, which was beautiful to see, to make sure, they were protected and everything. But, not that they can't protect themselves, but you know what I'm saying? But no, they had a entourage, so to speak. And everywhere they went, the seas would part. People would just, greet them, admire them, talk to them, etc. I saw a video of this lady. She was just in a gas station, and I guess, they came in to get some snacks, and they had one of them had like a service dog with them, and the lady was just like, you could hear her like crying. She just couldn't believe she was seeing them or whatever. And she's like petting the dog, and the dog just laid down. I was like, yeah, go to it. Give me some scratches on the belly while you're at it. Like, she was having a fit because she couldn't believe the dog was into her that quick, and I was like, yeah, man, that's good energy. That's what it is. It's all about that energy. It's all about that energy. So, yeah, that to me was a beacon of hope and light and everything we need right now in the universe, particularly our corner of the universe, our little flake in the universe, because I damn sure do not believe that we are the only living things in the cosmos. Please believe there are others. There are other forms of life, okay? And yeah, we are not alone. We never have been, and it's such an egotistical, ridiculous notion that any human being would still think that. But there are those amongst us who, ain't nobody out there, it's just us. And I mean, the same type of folk talking about the earth is still flat, and they don't believe that the moon is the moon when they see it in the sky. They don't believe the sun is the sun. They think it's a flat dial, like a coin just floating in the space. They don't believe space is space. All that old ignorant conversation. We ain't got time for them. We're gonna let the babies wake up when they ever never will. But the rest of us grown-minded people who gotta elevate and innovate, we're gonna keep right on keeping on. So yeah, universe blessed. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I mean, 1/1/26, y'all. You wanna do some numerology? Check it out. 1/1/26. 1 plus 1 is what? 2 people looking at me right now. What? Divinity. Anyway, if you know yourself, divinity, you need to be hitting that thumbs up right now. If you know you here, if you present, you need to be doing that. But anyway, 1 plus 1 is 2. All right? 2 plus 2 is 4. Right? And 4 plus 6 is what? Huh? Did you do it? Did you get it? That's a 10. Now you can go on and say 1 plus 1 is 1 0 and say 1. And 1 is everything, the beginning of, that's the beginning, right? But the 0 still counts. So you say 1 and 0, you're talking about binary code, you're talking about beginnings, you're talking about the foundations, technological society we living in this world right now. Man, this is a reboot. This is a reboot year, y'all. This is a reboot year. Don't fear nothing. Don't fear nothing. All these demons that think they running the world and they can do whatever they want. And I'm not religious when I say demon. I'm just talking about, and let me say this too. I ain't even talking about the original meaning of the word demon. Oh, we go that deep. Oh, we go that deep. Okay? Oh yeah, we go that deep. We go Nagai that deep. Somebody having a fit right now because they know what I just said. But anyway, now we ain't talking about the diamond. We talking about the straight up just the modern, Western definition of demons out here. These absolute psychopaths that think that just because they got some money and things, like I tell y'all all the time, you better flip that doggone, you better flip that equation and stop talking all that mess that them children were taught, and that's why they said it. Lil' Kim was a child when she said money, power, respect, like a child would. They get a little phrase and they run with it, and all the other children start saying, yeah, money, power, respect, money, power, respect. That ain't the way. And I'm a Mandalorian. This is the way. The way is respect first, then power, then money. Run, go tell it. More importantly, live by it. Don't just say it, understand it. Because if you don't understand it, you still ain't doing nothing with it. That goes for everything. If you're just repeating something, but you don't understand it, all you religious types, y'all love to thump Bibles and quote scriptures. I don't give a damn how much you know of scripture. Do you live it? Universe blessed. Most likely no. Because most of the scripture quoting mofos I've ever met don't live it. They love to talk it, but they don't walk it. Baby, you gotta walk. You gotta walk. Get this first delivery. All right. There it is. Okay. So Prodigy said in that track, he said, respect, power, money, in that exact order. Oh, it's music to my ears every time I repeat it, every time I think about it, every time I see it written in my brain. You know, that's some stuff to get tatted on you. Put it in that order. Respect, power, money. And make sure it's getting smaller every time. So by the time you say money, it's like money, power, respect, big as hell. Get it right, man. Get it right, or don't even talk. For real talk. We're gonna start living off of that, y'all. I've been on it, but I want to share this. This is going to be part of the ONYXCON Gospel Official. And I've been saying those phrases for years now. And I'm about to even write, there's a book that KRS-One came out with, The Temple of Hip Hop. Shout out to KRS-One, Temple of Hip Hop, that organizes hip hop into a true discipline. And now he does use the phrase, the culture and all that. And I get why they do that. But I'm sure if me and I've always wanted to meet my brother, because I know we would have a truly prolific conversation if we had time to really sit down and chop it up. That would be a gift of a lifetime to meet that man and really talk to him for real. Because I admire KRS-One so much, and he's one of my favorite, if not, yeah, definitely. People talk top 5, okay, top 6. All right, I need multiples of 3. Top 6 MCs of all time. Hell, top 7 for ONYXCON. How about that? And don't ask me who the other ones are. I don't feel like going through that right now. Chuck D is in there. You can bet that. Okay? Public Enemy, all that. Public Enemy is number 1 for groups. When it comes to group, no group more important to me. There would be no Wu-Tang if not for Public Enemy. There would be no Wu-Tang if not for Public Enemy. Hell, there wouldn't even be NWA if it wasn't for Public Enemy. You better know something. Real talk. So, yeah. And Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One, hello. Speak of another collective, but not so much group, even though they did do music as a team, as a group, but not enough officially to make it like that was like the group and you knew everybody's name. It was, like I said, it was more of a collective where members in, members out, members past, still forever cherished. It was one of them. It was a collective. It was like saying the Native Tongue family, where you got multiple groups, but it's a family. It's Tribe Called Quest. It's Black Sheep. It's Jungle Brothers. It's hello. You know what I'm saying? All of that was family. De La Soul. That was that's the Native Tongue family, right? But KRS-One has a book that talks about the philosophies of hip hop that he wrote. And I love what he did with that, because he made it he structured it like a Bible, knowing the impact of biblical mindset on the globe. Even though not everybody is Christian by no means, not everybody is Muslim by no means, not everybody is Judaic by no means, but because those big 3 are so influential, the structure of a book written in that form gets more, and it speaks to more. It speaks to the masses. Even those who may not be a part of any of those 3 religions, they have to know what they're doing, because those folks are always around. They're always pushing their dogma and their doctrine. Some of them don't push it like others do. Some of them just walk their path, which is the kind I can deal with. And then there's folks who are always pushing it. You want to go to my church? You want to be part of my thing? You want to be, all of that. That's why I tell y'all all the time over here, I'm not pushing nothing. I ain't trying to create no cult. Now, in terms of phrases, when people say cult phenomenon, yeah, I do want that kind of fever for what I've created and love of what my arts are, but I don't want cultism, because that can lead to psychosis, and people be acting a freaking frunkin' fool and pretending they know you better than they'll ever know you, and pretending that and making you out to be some messiah and all. I don't need none of that. None of that, damn it. Revere me, yes. Cherish me, yes. Appreciate me, yes. Do not, I repeat, do not try to make me your idol. Just being, I just want to be an example. And I'm far from perfect like every other living woman or man. You know what I'm saying? None of us perfect. So it ain't about, there's no such thing as perfect. That part. How about that? So anyway, but I've been contemplating, and I think I'm going to go ahead and have to deal with it. I'm going to have to write that out. And it ain't going to be no long ass thick book or nothing like that. I'm thinking of something, hell, the shorter it is, the better in this day of no attention span. I might make it more like a little book of poetry, like with haikus, like statements, just all my favorite phrases with imagery, And whether it's AI generated or original art by me, because I would put some of my original art in there for sure. I'm talking about, hand drawn, painted, etc. But a book that just kind of like speaks my philosophies about ONYXCON and all these different things. So that it can truly be a real grouping of thought that people can reference now and in the future and forever. And it might just be volume 1, because I could keep doing those forever. But, it'd be volume 1. If I got time, I'm going to make time in 26 and get that out. I'm thinking I want to do that. It may not even be out in print. I'd love to print it, because I think things mean a little bit more when they're tangible. But I know the age I'm in, so I'm going to start it just digital. The whole thing might just be a YouTube presentation at first with images and words. And I'll make my points. And I'll be like, this is the philosophies of ONYXCON. Live by this and live a better creative art life. But we always talk about, I say all the time, we live the art life. When I say we, it really is, it's mostly me, but it is a whole collective of people. I am Legion. I got a lot of people, and I mean a lot. If I were to count all the heads, we definitely hundreds, might be a few thousand. I mean, well, hell, we definitely thousands. We thousands with y'all. Look at my subscribers here. Look at my monetization day. We definitely, what am I talking? We definitely thousands. But I'm talking about people I definitely know by face. If I got down to just people I've met physically, or not even physically, but we know each other. We've communicated long enough to know each other that way, where when we do meet in physical, it's just instant embrace and all love and respect, because we already established that. I got a lot of them, and that what I know what I would say a few hundred. It's got to be a few, because it can't be a lot. When each category gets smaller and smaller for levels, true family friend energy. I shared with y'all in 25 video and images of me and some of my main homeboys I grew up with, my day ones from grade school. That's one group of friends. That's my infinity squad, I call them. I'm always know them guys. I'm always have a link to them and their families and everything. That's my ATL base. That's foundational of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? People, as far as brotherhood, brothers I know like brothers. Then there's the sisterhood. I got some ladies like that are from here that not quite the same, because they be married and boyfriended up and all that other stuff, so you can't be playing with them, because you don't want to mess that energy up. And it made it weird when somebody, why you always hugging on Joseph when you see him? Why you always love Joseph? You don't need that. You don't need that, right? So, and I respect that. I respect them boundaries, But then you got some friends like that. Then you got friends you meet, and most of the ones I'm even talking about with the ladies are folk I met in the film biz. Because when we go back to high school and stuff, it's very few ladies from my high school era that, really, quite frankly, is damn near none that I would say I would hang out with for real. Like, if I saw them somewhere, or if we planned something special just to have a day and have some time and put it on camera for y'all, something like that, it could happen. I'm thinking of one person as I say that. But yeah, it's like, I'm a person who moves on, man. If the energy of something is not serving me for my next stage in life, I'm on to the next. That's what the New Year's and New Year, every moment in a year is supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be evolving. You ain't supposed to be stagnant water. You ain't supposed to be water just sitting. You're supposed to be a river. You're supposed to be an ocean. You're supposed to be flowing. You're supposed to have some current. You know what I mean? There are times to be like a pond, since I'm doing these references and metaphors. There's times to be like a pond, be still water. Yeah. There's definitely times to be that. But my natural nature, man, I'm like a river. I'm earth-based and I'm cutting through the earth. The ocean is vast. That speaks to my spirit, my adventurous spirit. That's my travel spirit. That's that worldly, want to go everywhere. That's the ocean. That's that ocean energy. And we here for all those energies, because they all make it up. They all are part of this equation. You feel me? So, back to the philosophies. I'm gonna put together that book for y'all. And like I said, it'll probably just be a video to start with, and then I'll turn the file eventually into like an ebook. Since I've heard about this ebook thing being such a big deal, everybody seems to be on this ebook. I'm like, I need some new markets in 26. I've been hearing it. A couple of people I follow on YouTube and other places always tell me I sell my ebook. I was like, well, damn. Is this ebook thing really cooking like that? I mean, I get it. I come from publishing mindset, but I come from the world of we actually printed books. I come from making your own comic book. I come from printing out an actual novel you know, but that's expensive. And that's the beauty of technology and how people are now with everything on these phones and tablets. You got so many people don't even flip a book no more. They looking at it through these devices. Everything in their life is through these devices. So it's not to say people don't still buy books. We know they buy novels and stuff. I mean, I'm still capable of writing on that level and have written. I've written novels. I've written a couple of novels. I've written movie scripts, things that need to be made into full-scale movies. I've written TV shows. When I say writer, producer, actor, I'm not just talking. Did it, not just, yeah, that's something I'd like to do, so I just be telling people I do it. No, I've done it. And I've presented what I created. Biggity, what is it? The movie. Boss, the mini movie. These are shorts that I did. Boss was a concept that was going to just be a commercial for Honest Con. It turned into a full, straight up short, 15-minute. Shout out to Lamont Gant, Creative Genius Films. Shout out to Freddie Lee Jones III, out there in Brisbane, Australia now, holding it down. Originally from New Orleans, lived in Atlanta, lived in Cali. Freddie, man, my brother he hit me up the other day, man, gave best wishes for the new year. I said, that's what I'm talking about. I gave him mine, he gave me his. We just stay in touch, man. You keep them in it. Keep your connections. I keep telling Freddie, man, we're gonna mess around and make a movie in Australia. Why not? Let's go. And we don't laugh when we say stuff like that. We grin because we know it's possible. We ain't just talking, we walking. So right with possibilities, y'all. I love that energy about a first day. The first everything, first new year today. That energy is saying, do something new. Try something else. Be the unexpected. That's what time it is. And you know I love travel, so when I start talking about travel, when I tell you we got plans, we got plans. We're going to figure them all out, too. I started last night, sitting there waiting for the ball to drop. I said, let me start looking now at some of the places I've been wanting to go all last year and didn't go because I couldn't, and make sure that doesn't happen again. There won't be no couldn't and this bill and that bill and this problem and that. No. There's no bill more important than paying the personal travel bill. Somebody need to hear that. There's no bill more important. If that means something to you, you got to pay that bill. You got to get to that. You deserve it. You deserve it. No, I do. So, I did want to mention too before I get off and might get back on a little bit later. Blade. I did a video, short, because I know y'all love some shorts. Check it out. Help that thing go viral. I want to see some major numbers on it. It better hit at least 1,000, damn it. I'm tired of just seeing 1,000 on there. I want to see 10,000 on a short, become regular. I've got some shorts that hit. I got some shorts that went up to 30-something thousand. Matter of fact, my record for the whole channel is something that went to 30-something thousand last year with just a reaction video to Chris Tucker being funny. And I just love Chris Tucker as a comedian, and I've been doing a lot more comedic because I realize people need to laugh, man. I love to laugh. They say laughter is medicine for the soul, and, hey, laughter is good all the time, and all the time laughter is good. You know what I'm saying? The funny is good for the soul. So I look for funny stuff, and my algorithm knows it. So I get the funny stuff. I get the fishing. I've trained my algorithm here from just doing the content. It kind of knows what ONYXCON is at this point. It took it a long time to catch up, but I think we talking to each other right now. But the algorithm is a thing per app, and here I've got it talking to me. I've got it knowing. Don't send me this. I don't like that. A little less of that. Some of that. A little bit. Wait a minute. What? Didn't I just tell you none of that? Okay. It's like talking to AI trying to get a result. That's literally what it is. You gotta train it. Like, don't just be mad when it shows you stuff you don't like. Tell it, don't show me this. Not interested. Well, why? I don't even feel. Sometimes I want to explain. Sometimes I don't. You don't even have to do that. I already explained it to you once. Explain it once so it knows. And then if it keeps doing it, I told you already. I'm not gonna tell you again. I just said no, and keep going. Just keep trying. From doing that, I have trained my algorithm. It understands now. I'm not playing with you. I said, I want to see some fishing. I want to see some beautiful women. I want to see some folk dancing that can dance. Cool. I like that. That makes me feel good when I see folk doing all that amazing stuff. Some cool athletic movements. You know, somebody running touchdowns, slamming the ball. The best moments, the highlights. I don't need the whole damn game. I like them victory moments. That's my shit. That's what get me going. It reminds me of what it means to make it in life. Victory moments. You know what I'm saying? I like them victory moments, right? You know, show me the cute kids, show me the cute animals, show me the sweet moments, show me the couples that can stay in love and really mean it and not just faking it for the camera. Show me the people working out. Show me the people on vacation. Show me the people talking about travel and expat life and successfully doing it and not BS and not fudging it and telling you the real what it is to live in other countries. Show me that. Did I say fishing? Yes. Because I was watching an excellent fishing video the other day. And I've seen this dude before. He's from Australia. I forget his name. He's crazy. I thought Jeremy White was crazy, but Jeremy's crazy in a smooth way. He reminds me of myself. He got the crazy in him for the stuff he'll do and the stuff he'll handle. We both got that in common, but he's balanced. He's level. He's in his zen at all times. And I'm the same way when it comes to most of it, especially fishing. This other dude, no, this is a daredevil. This dude just, he's kind of a shock adrenaline junkie. Like, he's sensible too. He ain't gonna never do enough to just literally kill him on camera, but he'll do some stuff that really could make him come up missing months later with an infection or something. Like, he was doing an episode about the barracuda, which is one of my favorite fish of all time. Love barracuda. And he was going for the great barracuda, and the biggest ones in the world are in this certain region of Africa. And so he's in this part of off the coast of Africa. I forget what country it was. And he's getting some beasts, but none of them are big enough. He wants the biggest of the big. And he met some fishermen that had caught one that was probably 100 pounds. He was looking for 100 pounds. And he caught one, I think these guys that caught one that looked like it was about 80, which is insane if you know what that looks like. If you know what that looks like. Okay, even 100, like, well, huh? You know, but the dude literally is looking at the fish. The fish is dead. It's on ice. He's showing people how, you know, amazing the teeth structure is and all these spiked teeth in his mouth and all this that I know about barracuda from my own experience. And thank goodness never got bit. That would be the worst bite of your life, because it's the kind of bite, it just keeps bleeding. It punctures so deep, it will keep bleeding. It takes forever for it, which is how you would die, bleeding out if this thing gets you. And this guy is scraping his arm inside the mouth of this dead fish, purposefully slicing his skin so he can have blood on camera. I'm like, what, huh? I was like, and it switched my mind as to what I was looking at, because I'm just thinking, hey man, I'm just watching another fishing show. He's an extreme angler. I get it. I do it the same, but no, there's another category. There's extreme and there's insane. This is insanity, because the infection of what could be in the bacteria of those teeth, even in a dead, and probably even worse in a dead fish, Lord, the bacteria going crazy like, yo, we ain't got nothing to eat on for a while, so what we gonna do? You know, and they go right on to you because you're scraping your damn arm against these teeth. I said, oh my, this dude, holy shit. Now, of course, they ain't show him off camera with the camera off, putting 3,000 bottles of peroxide and whatever else, ointment and this, that, and the other, and a bandage and whatever to heal him up for the next shot. But I'm like, this dude, man, some folk just, man, like life ain't hard enough for them. They got to make problems because they ain't had no real problems. They rich as hell. You know, he's a rich white dude from Australia that travels the globe fishing for everything. So life just ain't hard enough for you. So you got to make yourself have some problems. What the are you doing, man? It made me mad to see that fool scrape his my arm on that. Not because it's not tough to me. Like I said, it put me in a different state of mind. The only thing I could compare to that kind of energy is like, you know, hardcore wrestling, which I am a fan of wrestling to a certain degree. I've always been, well, not always, but I have, that's a history with me. I'll put it like that. I got a character that's a wrestler in my comic book history and all that stuff. But when I was into that deeper, I'll say, and back in the ECW days, one of my favorite wrestlers, rest his soul, passed last year, Sabu, one of the greatest of all time, right, for hardcore, the king of hardcore. Quite frankly, for, you know, American-based wrestling, you know, he got his roots, he's Indian, but, you know, and Sabu is just that dude, and I'm gonna say his name right, not that Sabu shit that, you know, even he said because he know ignorant ass Americans couldn't pronounce it, so he just let them do whatever. And I'm like, man, nah, say the name right. It's Sabu. Sabu. It's probably even a drag that A out. Sabu. But anyway, uh, but that dude, these guys inflict pain to themselves willingly because that's the show. That's the character. I'm crazy. I'll do anything. Yeah, but I don't want to see. If Sabu went fishing, what's funny about a person like that? When I've watched interviews with him, I couldn't see Sabu unless you told him, okay, this is a bout, or we're gonna have the fish in the bout, and instead of a chair, you're gonna hit the head over the guy over the head with a dead barracuda. It's gonna be frozen, and I want you to scrape his face against the teeth. Okay, yeah, he'd do it. Whatever. That's okay. I'm getting how much money for? Okay, cool. But but just hey, I'm on my off time. I'm supposed to be relaxed. I'm doing something for fun. As crazy as my dude was, rest your soul, fam. I pretty much think I can say with confidence, even Sabu wouldn't rake his arm against that. Because I heard him say in an interview one time, he stopped wanting to do thumbtack matches, which is a very common thing for these kind of wrestlers. They nails, thumbtacks, freaking uh, fluorescent bulbs, smashing them over folk, and the glass, and they get it all stuck up in them and cut, and razor blade match. And he said he stopped wanting to do them because you get so many infections. He had been through it, man. He had caught some shit. He had to get them damn antibiotics and shit, and run a whole series of stuff to get some stuff out of your system. Can you imagine the stuff? Ooh. Because you're dealing with blood all over you, and other people's blood, and oh gosh, just a soup of freaking disease and festering problems in people's bodies. Like, the blood has everything. So he said in an interview, this guy who interviewed a series of interviews, it was really good interviews too. He told a lot of stories, boy. A lot of hardcore. If you haven't looked up, if you're a fan of wrestling, you know who I'm talking about, and you just haven't seen these interviews, look up Sabu interviews. It's gonna come up. And this one guy, he sits off camera and he keeps, the main man himself on camera the whole time. You don't even know who the other guy looks like. I saw one where it showed, it was a young white guy, probably 20, 30 something, and he's asking all these questions. He had good questions. He's a really good interviewer. And Sabu was just telling the real, man. He was telling what they really be doing. He suffered with some drug addictions and stuff, and he's a nervous wreck. His nervous system just, he be twitching through the whole interview and stuff. And and you can tell he's thinking to himself, should I have said that? Or whatever. I'll just, yeah, but anyway, this is just a really kind of guy I didn't like. I didn't like him. He's really not the kind of guy I like to wrestle because, you don't have any respect for what I do. Yeah. That's how he is, his mannerisms and stuff. Sorry, that's the actor in me. I can't help it, but I see it in my head. But yeah, man, but he's just, I could not see that man who said, I don't even want to do thumbtack matches no more. You're like, oh, you want me to, yeah, okay, yeah, bring the fucking fish. I'll do fish, whatever. I don't care. I mean, he'd always be sipping on like some little coffee or something. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, yeah, I'll do it, but yeah, but no, man, I don't like those kind of matches, man. You get sick, you get really messed up about that stuff, man. It's not good, man. Oh, yeah, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. This is really nasty. Some people just, they don't clean themselves. They don't take care of the cuts or anything. They don't do it right, man. There's a way to do that, and it's most of you guys they don't want to do that. Like, so not even he would be like, yeah, I'm cool with that, man. I'm about to scrape my arm. I'd be like, what the fuck, wrong, man? You don't get the hell away from me. I ain't doing that shit. And this dude done had a gash in his arm, bleeding from freaking barbed wire. Oh my gosh, Sabu is like the hardest of the hard, man. Rest your soul, brother. You are a special kind, a whole nother breed of human being. Ooh, man, that guy is amazing. And so entertaining. I'm talking about doing acrobatic moves, like not just the sloppy, big, strong idiot that just gets cut for nothing, but ain't got no style or finesse about it. No, he had style and finesse. He right up there. I mean, to me, even on another level as far as that, but on the same level of hardcore as like Abdul Little Butcher, who, for a big dude, man, shout out to Abby, man. That's my dude. I know him. Yes, 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 y'all. Who got the vibe? It's the tribe, y'all. Real live, y'all. Inside, outside, come around. Who's that, Brian? Woke up this morning to some LONS. Leaders of the New School. That's the group that Busta Rhymes was a part of, by the way. For all y'all who need to know your hip hop history. Yep. But waiting on the order. That's all. I'm just focused a little bit to see if I was next or not. I should be, but I don't know. We shall see. All right. Well, so yo, speaking of the energy, y'all, the wisdom and the everything of legendary folk. Go back and listen to that album, man. That last LONS album. That is still a classic. I mean, good gosh, the lyrics, the flow, the flows, plural. You know, Buster became such a powerhouse in and of himself after that group. But everybody in that group, literally everybody in that group, could have been just as big a star in a different way if they had decided they wanted that, or if society were ready for that. That'd be the other part, because people don't be ready for that kind of variety. You know, they want to pick and choose little pieces of people and blow up one part and forget the rest, pigeonhole you into one state of mind and doctrine and philosophy, and leave the rest of what you really may be more about. You know what I'm saying? If that's not as aligned with the prison industrial complex, aligned with the crisis of the medical industry. What am I talking about? I'm talking about what I was originally talking about how the society, and when we start using all these phrases talking about gate kept and everything, do you really know what you're saying? Let me tell you what you really say. What you're really saying is gatekeeping is when those who have knowledge of how things actually work and how to acquire financial gains through natural ways of understanding human psychology, therefore consumer patterns of how people buy, what they're going to place importance on, okay? And you can kind of predict how people are going to spend their money in a capitalist system. But you also create a certain mentality about even being a consumer, where people are expected to live and think and do a certain way, which is, again, why, to take it back to that again, why I don't like that phrase for the culture, because it says one, it says singular culture, it does not say plural. I say my phrase, my hashtag, and I'm going to keep saying, for the cultures, with a Z or with an S, but I do the Z because I like the way it sounds and because it's the way we actually say it, and it's hip-hop. And that's my little shout direct to hip-hop to say, look, as a cultures, there's no one. There's no one way to do anything. And as soon as you get trapped in saying yes, there is, then now you got to live by a code. And if you got to live by a code, it doesn't necessarily fit you because it was made up by somebody else. That's their philosophy. It ain't got nothing to do with you as an individual. It may be parts of it you like, but most people are not savvy enough, intelligent enough, observant enough to decipher what about things they're really attracted to. Why? What part of your human nature is into that? Because once you understand that, it don't matter about the rest. You don't get caught up in groups and aligning your stuff with stuff that don't go with you. Because you're like, man, okay, this part, yeah, but the rest of that ain't me. And there's a reason. But if you get caught up, you know, you can literally reshape your whole life to try to be something that was never fully what you are. You just thought you had to do it because of peer pressure, because of family pressure, because of, you went through a phase and people liked the way that looked on you. I like when you was in that phase and you were dressing like this. And you're like, yeah, okay, I had a moment with that. That was fun. Maybe something I'll put on every now and then, but I ain't gonna wear that all the time. Oh no, man, you gotta do this such and such, man. Come on, man, you gotta do. No, I don't gotta do nothing. But people get you caught in gotta do. And then you'll stress yourself and mess over your life trying to make them happy versus are you even happy with who the hell you are? Who are you right now? For you, who are you? That's who you live for. That's who we live for, y'all. It's your legacy, it's your purpose at all times. And you have the power to steer the ship. You have the power to keep your lips from ever being chapped. Cocoa butter works. You know. But seriously, all jokes aside, serious talk. That's real business right there. That's real business. I know I'm speaking something somebody need to hear. I mean, I ain't asking, I'm telling because I know it's real. I done lived it enough to know. So you live long enough, you done it, you done tried and tested it. So now you prove it. You know, man, I ain't got to ask nobody. I'm not going to ask nobody to understand. I already know it's true. I already know you can't put the buggy before the horse. There's an order to everything. There's an order to everything. And like I say, a lot of the folks who are in the higher echelons of power and structure, they know this stuff. They know enough about it. They know enough about it to control the masses. What they don't know or seem to understand is the weirdness of that mentality of trying to control everybody instead of just living your life. Why you gotta control everything? Why you gotta dominate? Why you gotta conquer? You gotta watch the words you use. Because some of y'all, there was a time when I was younger and I thought this was, I grew up on all the war stuff. We all did. Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers. Love it, still do. But it puts you in a mindset of conquer, and authority, and even the concept of the villainy and everything and why something's a villain. And some of that stuff gets really weird, and you got to ask questions that you don't ask when you're young. You just go with the program. You're like, man, I don't want to stand out too much. I'm thinking about it, but I don't want to say what I'm thinking because nobody else asked that but me. Why am I the only one asking the question? Because you're the only one aware of what the hell is really going on. That's why. And that's special, and that's meant to be. That's part of your destiny. You're here to be the messenger. Yeah, man, but they always killed me. No, they don't always kill the messenger. Stop saying that. The messenger got to protect himself, herself. When they know you fuck with that messenger, he shoot back. Oh, they ain't gonna mess with you. You'll be all right. Keep saying what needs to be said, but let them know this is protected at all times. And they understand that. They act like they don't hear you when you show up with you, when you show them the armory, when you show them the skills, when you show them the strength, when you display. They paying attention at all times. They are taking note and they saying to themselves, I don't want to fuck with him. I don't want to mess with her. You might be talking your little stuff. You might be trolling. You might care. You don't want to meet them in real life. You don't want no parts of that. Not a bit. Not a bit. It's different. It's different, y'all. So, because of that, when you do walk that other path, when you are the minority amongst the majority, which I've always said is just fine with me because even here with my numbers on social media, I did an assessment, and I do them constantly, and it's like getting a checkup every so many months, every so many weeks. Sometimes I just do it. Like I might do it when I finish talking to y'all today. I might just run one for me, AI. What are the different ones I go through? If this is this and that is that, then what is this? And based on my numbers on social media, and I said for YouTube in particular, based on the pattern of how we've been structured for this long and had some success, if everyone in the world was aware this channel existed, like literally if they were all told at once, hey, there's this thing called ONYXCON, this is what it's really all about, and they have an excellent channel on YouTube, how many would subscribe based on current pattern? Not future, because future pattern will change that pattern. It could be even better or worse, but based on the best case scenario, what's the number we could get out of the entire world, 8-something billion population? And it said, you are guaranteed based on your current, and this is not even monetized, 275,000. I said, I can work with that. That's over $250,000. I can work with that. There's people I admire their channel, and they living good on the channel, on the YouTube. They traveling, they going where they want to go when they want to go. They doing what they, and they don't even have 100,000. They got 80-something thousand. Then there's the folks who do have over 500,000. You know, so I know it's possible. I know it's possible. And the most important part is that's a decent number to have an audience. That's all I need. If I get that and I get more, great. It was meant to be. But I'm destined to get just that much. That's my goal. That's my goal. Oh, Lord. People are funny. It was, I'll tell y'all in a minute. Oh, Lord. Couples be funny as hell. Just the energy of people. This lady got out of her car, and the way she was walking with her little tights on, and she fine now. She got a shape. She got a real nice shape. Cute outfit, fitted little outfit, so it's showing off the booty. You know, hair done, nails still done from the holiday. She looked cute. Looked like she went out last night, you know. And she just did this strut that was like very, like, only way I can explain it was like a woman version of George Jefferson when he used to strut on the show. Like, you know, that bold strut he used to do. She's strutting like that. I said, look at this little thing. So I noticed her, but then the first thing I do instinctually, I said, now where did she come from? There was a car I heard just parked. Let me see who's in the car. She ain't by herself yet, sure as shit. Okay, there's her man, or her husband, or her brother, or somebody, some man in her life. I said, okay, divert my eyes for a moment. Don't be just staring. Because it's energy, see? It's energy. And it will get picked up, like somebody's looking at me, or somebody's looking at her. I don't need no bad energy about it. You know, she's attractive, I noticed. As simple as that. But it was funny, as soon as he got out the car and came over near, she kind of toned down her walk a little bit, but I noticed as they were walking off, this is kind of her walk naturally. I thought to myself, boy, I know he get hell all day with this one, because Lord knows she's too noticeable. You're already cute, then you throw in the little crazy walk, and it's like, oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh man. Poor brother. I'm telling you, he can't go to the bathroom with that one, boy. He come back, it'll be a line of folks. Hey baby, I just wanted to say you look so nice today. Calm down. But I'm learning, I've been on this, but I'm getting better and better at it. I see a lady that looks really attractive, am I in a store or whatever, there'd be that part of me as a single man just want to holler. I'd be like, damn man, maybe I should say something. And I'd be my other man. But the two me's be on the shoulder, right? Man, go ahead and say something. No, wait. She probably got a man. Just try and see what's up first. Hell, you don't need that, man. What else you doing? You ain't doing nothing but one of these damn orders, man. Been going, or you know, if I'm not working, you ain't work, man. You free time. Go on and holler, see what's up. Be nice. Give her a compliment, see what happens. She'll tell you. She'll be like, oh, my boyfriend says the same thing all the time. Respect. You know, if she know how to handle her business, she'll do that one. Some of them just keep flirting with you till you walk up and you're like, golly, what the hell? You know. So I just laughed. I said, yeah, Just wait. A lot of times, like, circle the block. You know, not in that other way y'all be talking about. Just, I'm saying circle the block. Like, you saw her? Okay, before you step, circle around, glance back over, and sure as shit, here come the dude. You goddamn. Now I'll tell you another way you always know it's usually a dude. If a woman, whether she's with her man or not, if she's not giving you any energy in a place where women don't look for men anywhere, and let me tell you something, unless they are at a store where, I'm trying to think of a store where they would be looking for being picked up or energy like that. I mean, hell, I was about to say something like a lingerie thing, but no, they don't. That's even worse. They don't want to be bothered when they do it. More than likely, they're in there to get something for the husband or the boyfriend to look at. You know what I'm saying? Or for themselves to feel good about themselves when they're trying to keep somebody in their life or whatever. So, you know, whatever the case may be, you know. So that ain't a good place. That's not a good place. But if you see a lady and she's like, out and about, but most of the time, women are very, very one-track mind for the moment. I'm in here to go grocery shopping. That's it. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be flirted with. And I had a woman straight up tell me that. Not me, because I had done something. I had approached her wrong. I'm talking about somebody I was talking to. We knew we liked each other. And she was telling me stories about dudes approaching her in ways that always get on her nerves. I said, yeah, give me the game. She broke it all down. It was proof of everything I had already thought. Because I based mine off of just how every time I see a beautiful woman in a grocery store, you be thinking, man, holla. Then my other mind be saying, no, wait. Sure shit, it be the boyfriend. Or she by herself, but don't want to be bothered at that time. And there would be that energy where you know you looking at them and they do the little eyes like they know you looking at them. And now you feel like a creep because you feel like you're staring, so you don't want to be that dude. So it's messed up, quite frankly, in some ways, because it used to be this was a standard place, man. I mean, y'all don't even remember. I mean, y'all young ones would never remember this because they don't even do this on shows no more. It used to be a common trope in sitcoms and movies. Pretty girl next door is in the supermarket. Guy next door notices her across the aisle from the apples. They both are admiring the apples. And the guy says something real cool to her like, boy, I haven't ever seen one this red. It's a lot like your lipstick. It looks very nice. Something goofy like that. And the lady just grins. She's like, thank you. And he's like, hey, my name is so-and-so. She hesitates for a moment, then she shakes his hand. I'm such and such. And they start flirting. And the next scene, he's out to dinner with her. And the next scene, they humping in the bed. And the next scene, they got kids and the white picket fence and the mansion. And this is the way little goofy shows used to be. They don't do that no more. Because in a way, I guess the scientists in the industry went to work and said, man, we done the numbers. Women don't respond to that no more. They don't like to be bothered when they're in the store. They don't want to be bothered at the gym. You hear that complaint all the time. Stop coming up to these women because they're looking fine in their tights and stuff in the gym. They're not there. They're not putting on their outfit and stuff to be messed with. They just want to get their workout with it. Oh, yeah. All of that, right? You hear all this all the time. But I've heard a lady, like I said, somebody I was talking to, she straight up told me stories about stuff. So I'm getting the real intel. And it was every bit of my theory proven to be true. She talking about multiple guys in grocery stores and other stores coming up. And that she's such a nice, sweetheart of an energy. She doesn't flirt with them, but she didn't be mean at the same time. She'll grin, and I said, well, see, there's your big problem. You can't smile on these damn dudes. If you don't like the guy, don't smile. Just smirk. But don't smile. I love a good pair of teeth. Teeth is my number one. You fine as hell. I noticed you, right? But to most guys, that's also a sign of, yo, I think she's into me. And Lord forbid, do not touch nobody. If there's something funny, but you still ain't interested, you just thought, hey, he's funny, but he ain't your type. Don't you be putting no little slappy hands on the side of the shoulder. Don't do that. Don't do none of that. I straight up told her. She was like, yeah, I guess you're right. My brother tells me the same thing. I said, you better listen to him. Shit, he's trying to tell you the psychology, man. Ain't no game out here. I mean, this decent dudes ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't gonna be weird about nothing like me, but the rest of these idiots, you don't know what you're gonna get. So just don't give them no damn inch. They gonna want to take a mile. Am I right, ladies? Of course. But y'all got to throw some more signals, though. Like, you got to go back to if you are single, we still on some genetic code stuff, man. Beautiful woman. Testosterone. We don't care about the time or the place half the time. We should, but we don't. I'm just being honest. I do. But I have to talk myself through being able to not react every time. And I've had enough situations where I had good results. It didn't go bad, but it didn't go where I wanted it either. You find out, oh, she got a boyfriend. Damn. Oh, she married. Oh, damn. And you thought it was just gonna be flirty, and that's it. We done. It would just move so smooth. No, it don't go that way all the time. Most of the time. And if you thought she was attractive, more than likely she's taken. Is this my order? Cause damn, I've been. All right. All right, y'all. Back at it. So, I've been on so many tangents today. I'm remembering my topics as I go. I meant to say, in closing on that heavier topic, because I could go on and on. That's not something that you can't even fit that in a line. But I'll just say the rule remains: respect first, then power, then money. We're gonna push that to the forefront in 2026, and we're gonna aim it directly at our 275,000 for sure. I would love to say 3 million, at best. That would support our content. Because it goes in phases. And when we get the ladies involved, as I plan to, everything gonna change around here. And I'm talking about professionally and personally. Personally, I need some ladies in my life that ain't fair weather, that are reliable and realistic, and I always say that's going to come internationally quicker than it would be domestically, because it's too much headache at home, and too many folks here are not focused. Don't know what the hell they want, don't know what really is valuable, what really matters. They're living in that reverse mindset. They dealing with that money first, and then they want to put power next, and then respect last. Like, what? You hear yourself, right? You putting respect last. That's what a lot of them are. Because various things in history here, especially, have been teaching that. So you're trying to undo generational madness in dating in this modern era. And not just in them kind of relationships, in business relationships, and some family relationships. I mean, all kind of stuff. It's too much. It gets to a point. You start looking at the clock saying, man, how much time am I really gonna spend on trying to reverse this? I can tell you from experience. Best thing you can do, find your tribe. And it's not gonna be a big one. And you should be good with that. Y'all get fortified, y'all protect yourselves, protect your energy. And you'll be all right. And it will require getting rid of some people that were never authentic. That were just hanging around because they could tell that positive energy you possess would lead to some form of prosperity, and they just want to be a part of it. But for all the wrong reasons. You don't need that. So this is getting into the playing chess mindset. Y'all know I love chess, right? In every game, You got to assess which are the most important pieces. And even though pawns seem completely expendable, they're not. But you can't always afford to lose a certain number of them per game depending on the level of your opponent. If you're playing another master, somebody who's really good, you're probably going to lose all of them. Or both of y'all are going to know to not try to lose all of them. You're going to try to protect at least 3 of your pawns. Why? You got 8 of them. 5 of them can be expendable a little bit. Why? Because first of all, they're on the front row, they gonna get hit. It's just the way it go. After the first 3 moves, if nobody's taking a hit yet, you can guarantee on that 4th or 5th move, somebody from either side is gonna take a hit. They're gonna lose a piece. Now, everybody in the back row is the most important. Of course, the king is the one you're supposed to be protecting. That's the end of the game if you get him in checkmate. And if you keep getting him in check, that's a sign that your opponent knows your weakness or has figured out some of your weaknesses. In my experience of playing, I love when I catch a player who is so obsessed with the queen being the most powerful piece on the board, which she is one of the most powerful pieces on the board. But here's the reality. You got the dark squares and the light squares, right? Each of your bishops corresponds to the white or dark square. Light or dark, because it could be a red and green chessboard. It don't matter what color, just lighter color, darker color, right? If you notice that your opponent keeps moving or whatever you need to happen to set up a checkmate, it's going to more than likely require that your bishop, if your bishop is part of that strategy, needs to be on the dark squares. Then you protect that bishop more than even the other one, but you still protect both of them. Knights, it doesn't matter, because they got so much range and they always don't land the same L formation no matter what, in multiple directions, north, south, east, west directions. So they got some real power, which is why people protect their knights so hard. People tend to sleep on the rook. But here's what I say about the rook. It's as simple as the movement seems with the north, south, east, west. Okay? Diagonal and horizontal. Not diagonal, excuse me. That's bishops. Strictly vertical and horizontal is what I meant to say. But if you look at the queen, what does it take to make a queen? It's a bishop and a rook. So when I play, I love to catch somebody who's so obsessed with every time you go after their queen, after they attack you and hit you up with the queen, or tried to take some of your major pieces with the queen, and then you finally get her cornered, I'll be like, oh, you one of them that's probably gonna quit after I take the queen. And most of them do. As soon as you get the queen, oh, game over. No, it's not. You just don't know how to play. And you're not literal. You're all into the piece and what you made the piece mean to you. See, I don't get lost in that. A bishop and a rook is a queen. So technically, I got 3 queens on the board every time I start a game. That's the wisdom for today's chessboard. You understand? Some of y'all got that. Some of y'all needed that if you play chess. You got a bishop and a rook, you still got a queen. Remember that. Now, if you lose, if you down to, you got a few pawns, your king, and a bishop and a rook, and you mess around and lose one of either your bishop or your rook, yeah, you're going to have a hard time winning that game depending on who's left on the other side to fight you. If you got them in the same predicament, well, that's the worst kind of game to me, because it just goes on and on and on to the very end. Usually one of us going to lose because of time, because I'm playing on the computer and it's a timer. And you might lose even where you could have won, because y'all going to be just jumping away from each other, staying out of each other's way. Everybody just trying to stay alive and beat the clock. That ain't a game to me. I usually end games like that. I just say, bump it, man, you got it, whatever. I'm not even intrigued. I'm not even like, what are we doing? think I'm just gonna spend time dipping and dodging you for the next hour? No, fuck that, man. The game is over. If you think you won, fine. Don't give a shit. Now, you wanna run it back? See if you get to do that again. And most of the time they don't want to run it back when they get like that either. I'll quit the game and I'll be like, yo, you want to go again? Nah, because you challenged them too much. He's like, man, this dude, what the hell? He kept going after he lost his queen. Sure did. Because I still had one. She can only move diagonal or vertical and horizontal per move. She gonna either go straight up, straight back, straight across, straight to the other cross. She gonna go diagonal and one of the X ways, but she can only do one per move. What's the difference in that? And your bishop can only go one of those directions per move. Your rook can only go one of those directions per move. So your positioning of them is what makes them just like a queen. Especially if you got both of them set up in the right place at the right time. Hell, it's sometimes worse than a queen. A little wisdom. Somebody needed that. Do what you will with it. Happy New Year.